Hey everybody, welcome back to Super Comic Fun Times Daily Vlog. Today we're going to look at The Flash number 47, which is the start of Flash War, and there will be spoilers. So I read this yesterday. I read it on the bus, and then I had a night on the town, a middle-aged man's night on the town. I took my spouse to dinner, and then we went for a walk, and then we went to what is it called, Home Depot, and bought flowers. And then we spent all day in the garden planting flowers and doing other yard tasks. So I'm slightly in, what was I going to say? I am slightly burnt out, I guess. I can't even think of the word that I wanted to say. It was there for a second and then it was gone. You know, it's very hot. Usually, like, I think the average high for this time of May is around 71 degrees, and we hit 90 degrees today. It's going to be a very hot weekend. So if you're out there working in your garden, or like tomorrow, we're going up to Spring Green, and Neil Gaiman fans will know about Spring Green. Yay! So they're having Bob Fest tomorrow, and Bob Fest is like Beatles Fest. They have Beatles Fest at Labor Day, and they have Bob Fest at Memorial Day. Now, I've never been to Bob Fest before, but it's a bunch of bands that do covers of Bob Dylan songs. So I'm very excited for it. We were going to go last year, but we were not on the ball. How it works in the fall at Labor Day is Beatles Fest is on Labor Day itself, on the Monday. So last year we were doing stuff. We were probably gardening then too, and then we were we were gonna go to Bob Fest on Monday, but Bob Fest is on the Saturday. So I'm really looking forward to that. I'm probably gonna go read some more. I've got Teether by the bed, and you know, it's that horror comic from Antarctic Press, and I want to read it, but I don't want to read it before bed. But I want to read it, and I want to read it before bed because it'll be scarier. I don't know what I'm doing with that, but yeah. So I've got that I want to read. I kind of want to read some things before I go to bed, and then get up early tomorrow and get ready to go to Bob Fest. So I was holding this up. This is the cover. I haven't done my homework once again. I don't know if this is a variant or the regular cover, but you have the three flashes. Oh, this is very important too. This is from the perspective of somebody who doesn't regularly read the Flash. Now, my experience with the Flash is mostly through event comics. I've read Crisis on Infinite Earths, and of course that's where Barry Allen the Flash dies, and Wally West, who is Kid Flash, becomes the Flash. He takes on that mantle. And then there's another Wally West I'm not familiar with, the Black Wally West, who is from the New 52. I don't know anything about him, never read anything with him in it. And then, so I've also read, whatchamacallit, the Black Lantern story, Blackest Night. And in that one, I think Barry had just come back to life from Infinite Crisis, or not. He wasn't dead. They retconned it, so he's been living in the Speed Force for all these years. And then last year, I think when the Flash TV season started again, Comixology had some specials on some Flash comic books, and I bought the first 2 volumes of Jeff Johns' Flash run, and that was a lot of fun. But that was Wally West Flash. So prior to that is like the TV shows, you know, the one with what's his name, Wesley Ships. I want to say Wesley Snipes Ships, but the guy from the 1990s Flash show, who's shown up in the new Flash show, and then the new Flash show, which I watched the first 2 seasons of that. The last couple of years I haven't watched much TV except, you know, on Netflix. I've been watching Deep Space Nine, and the occasional movie or something like that, a documentary show. I haven't been watching that much TV because I've been working on this YouTube channel and whatnot. So this book starts, oh, did I say spoilers already? I'm sorry, I'm I've had a beer and I'm a little still burned out from working in the sun all day. So spoilers, and we're going to start now. So this book it starts with Wally and Barry having a fight. And I started reading this. I go, oh, what's going on? Maybe I have to get the previous episode to figure out what's going on, or previous issue. But that just turns out to be a prelude. And then like you have a little bit of SJWism with Iris here. Now, like the interesting thing is I don't know Iris that well except from the TV shows, because in the Wally West, the 2 volumes, I think she showed up for 1 issue, maybe 2 issues. I don't remember very much about her. I know her more from the current TV show. I don't think she appeared in the original TV show from the 90s. So I know very little about her, but here she's like, she's working on the bike. She's like, she can do everything. And like all of the guys around here are kind of like bickering idiots. So like, I guess this Wally, I'm assuming his name is still Wally. I don't really remember, but he's Kid Flash now. And then you have the 2 other Flashes. And I don't know what's going on with that. And it didn't really matter to me for the story, but they're, Barry and Wally are kind of having issues. It's like Barry is more cautious, I guess, and Wally, he's more powerful, and he's also more going to just jump into things, which doesn't seem quite right to me from the Jeff Johns books I've read. But who knows? Maybe that is right. So anyway, she's fishing. There's like a volcano. No, there's a tsunami. There was a tsunami. And then the Flashes were trying to keep the tidal wave from hitting, I forget if it was Japan or a Hawaiian island. Again, that part doesn't really matter. The part that matters is like they come back. And so you've got this bickering here, and like Iris is the only one who's like, she's spot on the job. And like Kid Flash is kind of like, oh, gee, you guys are like, I'm learning so much from you and stuff like that. So like I said, I don't know what's going on with this. This looks pretty cool. It's Plastic Man. Let's see. It's Gail Simone is doing Plastic Man. So I think I love Plastic Man. I don't know why, because I never had much. I think it's because when I first started getting back into comics, and this is like the first time I started getting back into comics before the second time, so this was like 2012 when Batman or The Dark Knight Rises got me back, and I bought the Nightfall books, and then I also got the Death of Superman books at that time. And there's this one like Superman Doomed. It's like Plastic Man is on the Justice League, and like Doomsday is kind of roaming. I think he's controlled by Cyborg Superman or something like that, because he's got some intelligence, and the Justice League tries to attack him, and there's this scene where like Plastic Man is just kind of laid out. It's so funny. It's like one of my favorite scenes in comic books. I should take a picture of that and post it up on Twitter. So yeah, Plastic Man is coming out. I think it's coming out in June. So I'm going to be getting that one. I'll review that one when it comes out. So anyways, like, Wally asks like, gee, Aunt Iris, how did you get so good at Kid Flash, Wally? It's confusing to me, at least, but how did you get so good at fixing bikes? And she kind of explains about having brothers or something like that. I don't know. But then like, the Flashes come back, and they're still kind of, they come back sort of like Back to the Future style, only like, one on each side. That's interesting, like symbology. I'll have to think about that a little bit. And then they're still kind of they're kind of good-natured bickering here, unlike the first page. And oh yeah, Hawkman is coming out too. So I want to get that one too. Hawkman #1, that's coming out in June too. So like Wally, pre-New 52 Wally is like, I guess he's having memory issues. He doesn't know where he's been, and like he's suffering from some sort of amnesia, and then like he'll have these kind of flashes, and I guess his family is missing too. I really don't know. The story was still entertaining to me. I guess like right now, my favorite book that I've read recently since, in the 2 weeks or 3 weeks, however long, I guess I've only really been getting new comic books, current comic books for like a month or so. Venom #1 is like the measuring stick I'm measuring everything against right now. And this is no Venom #1, but it's okay. So then like you have these guys, the rogues come from the future and they come for Iris because I guess she killed Eobard Thawne. I don't know exactly what happened there. And then like she's like willing to go with them and stuff, but Wally, pre-New 52, Wally is like, no, you can't do it, and he runs off with her, and like she finally like stops him, and then you have a bit of a fight with the rogues and stuff, and there's this one cool thing is like one of these rogues is a Yellow Lantern, and she creates these other versions of the Flash from, as constructs for her ring. I thought that was kind of a cool thing in this book. And that goes on for a page or two. You got some nice artwork there. And yeah, so, oh look, Aquaman and Jabberjaw. I don't remember ever thinking, what I really want is an Aquaman and Jabberjaw book. But who knows? Should I get that one? Maybe I should get that one. So what else we got? Black Lightning and Hong Kong Phooey. And then what else do we have here? Super Sons and Dynomutt. That might be a happy thing for the Super Sons fans. I haven't read Super Sons, but a lot of people seem to like it. And they're kind of disappointed because the last issue just came out. And then you have Flash and Speed Buggy. So that's some stuff to be looking forward to. Are these current or... Yeah, there are 4 different specials in May, so maybe I should look at these. I don't know what's coming out this next Wednesday. I don't know what I'll be interested in, and so I should look at that and see if I can get those any of those books for the upcoming new comic book day. Which for me, it works better to get the books on Thursday. So I probably, I have yoga on Wednesday, so it just kind of bites into my time to try to do both, but I suppose I could do both. The mind is always working. I think I could maybe make it work. So yeah, so then like, you got Captain Cold here, and like I really like Captain Cold, and that's based on the Jeff Johns run of and the TV show. Like, he's a pretty cool character. I kind of like that guy. And so yeah, I forget why Iris is running over him. Maybe it's just a distraction, but she's more than willing to go with them. But Wally is like, I just got you again, Iris. I can't lose you. And so they all decide to go to the future, but because that's where the trial is going to be. And like Barry is like, we'll just explain to them why we, it was self-defense killing Eobard Thawne, and then like Wally. Pre-New 52 Wally disappears, and then this is the last page, so this is a really big spoiler. And so yeah, you have this Zoom character, which I don't know if it's Eobard Thawne or not, because I think Professor Zoom was one of his names when he was working at the Flash Museum, but I'm not 100% sure on that. So this was Flash War Part 1. Joshua Williamson, Howard Porter, Hi-Fi is the colorist, Steve Wands is a letterer, Porter and Hi-Fi did the cover. So yeah, I don't know if I see variant cover in here. So next we have Zoom and Wally Save the Flash Family. So like I say, I think this was a pretty good book, a pretty solid story, but I'm measuring everything against Venom #1 because I can't not do that. That was just like, so far that's the best one so far. King of all comic books, Venom #1. And like I said in my previous video, I put that, I finally got a pull list, so I'm getting Venom and I'm getting The Prisoner. I might put this on my list. And I definitely want to get Hawkman, and I think JLA #1 comes out next month too, which is just a few days away. So did you read Flash War? Did you, like, the weird thing is like, there's a lot of mythology going on here too. It's like, the Flash is basically Hermes or Mercury, the Greek Roman god. He was the messenger of the gods, but he also like had his own agenda sometimes. Iris was also a messenger of the gods, but she was more, almost like robotic, like almost like a recording machine. The Zeus would say, deliver this message to Agamemnon or something like that. I don't really remember, but and so like take this dream to him or something like that, and then she would just do that, and then that's pretty much her personality. She doesn't have much personality in the mythology, and of course our eye became iris. We've got the iris in our eye that opens and closes to let in light. So all that's kind of interesting. And but I don't know that Iris. I don't know what her history is prior to this, where she can just fix motorbikes and kind of rein all the guys in who are arguing with each other, and at the same time mentoring Kid Flash. Yeah, so I don't know. Overall, it was a fun book, and I more or less recommend it, but I've spoiled it. So hopefully, if you plan on getting it, you're still going to get it. Don't watch any of my other videos on it if you want to read it, because I'm just going to start talking about them as they are. I try to, and I think I'm vague enough. I don't know. I thought it was a pretty fun book. So. Yeah, and I've got this other Flash book here, from Rebirth. And that's the other thing, is I have this whole, let me just get this one. I got this, was it last year when this came out? I don't know, but I've been wanting to read it, but I haven't read it. I did an unboxing for it on my other channel, but that was before I was doing this more regularly. So I might just crack this open. I might put Teether aside and, I was like wondering, what's that on her face? It's like, because there's this plastic on there, but apparently this plastic has some printing on it. So yeah, maybe I should. The one thing that bummed me out about getting this book is like, after I got this book, then there was like announced that there was a deluxe edition. So I don't know if that contains more stories, but this is pretty thick as it is. And I've got so much to read already that maybe this is good enough. So yeah, anyways, let me know what you thought of the Flash War. If you have any suggestions for how to review books, how I should review the books, let me know. Because yeah, sometimes like I have trouble saying anything about a book because, well, like I have trouble talking about, I really want to do a review of the Rebirth of the Gangster, but it's like all 6 issues are kind of like a prologue. So, how can I recommend what comes after that if like everything here is set up, but it was good. I really enjoyed reading it, but I don't know quite how to review it. Emperor. Yeah, so let me know what you think. I get these ideas, like, talking about Iris a little bit and her role in classical mythology, but maybe nobody cares about that. That's the stuff I care about. That's the stuff that draws me to comics. So anyways, thank you for watching. Give us a thumbs up, subscribe, tell your friends, share the video, and I will be back with you soon, probably Tuesday, and we will see what comes up. Maybe I'll get through Teether, maybe. Talk to you later. Bye.